I mean, if you poke him enough, he'll move. Is he alive even?
Yeah.
Oh, he's pissed. He looked at...
I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass.
Power, profit, and passion.
Offer limited to God and godlike deities. Get very excited and speak in tongues.
Bob, actually, that's a stage direction. I think you're supposed to, get all excited and blah, blah, speak in tongues like that.
That'll be fun.
That's
okay.
all right. Just take it.
Take two. Offer limited to God and godlike deities.
Bingo, that was the one, Bobby. That was great. All right, now let's knock these other ones out, voiceover king, before we go to lunch, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
To win, you must be 18 and come in first place.
Great, moving on.
Offer expires now.
Zippity-doo-dah, next.
Not to be confused with the disease, cancer.
Zippity-a, moving on.
Harvard's Memory Loss Clinic, established in 1952, 1967, and for the first time in 1981.
That was a goodie, Bob. We're moving on. We're going to do that disclaimer about the John Tesh album. You got that?
Okay.
Should be on the page there, Bob.
Sure.
Okay.
Not suitable for any living thing. I
They
got one
mean
more
it,
here.
too. That Red Rocks thing is awful. Moving on.
Moving on. Mr. Pickle's Fun Time Abortion Clinics. We'll bring out the kid in ya.
I smell lunch. One more and we're out of here, baby doll.
All right. Globochem. We own everything, so you don't have to.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and then we'll pull up them. We're gonna start with high shot. Just watch this chorus step.
He roots around on that chair, so I have to put a covering on it, or else it will get really messed up, I would assume. He also, so he does that every time he eats. He'll then go over there and like rub himself all over the chair. That's Gizmo, by the way. And and then he also does that after every bath, which I just gave him today. So, I have to change it. So it's always a different thing that he's running around on, but that's his deal. That's Gizmo for you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. My name is Yule. This is our 84th episode. I call it the best laid plans. I'm sure I've used this before, but I'm going to use it again. And a little funny stuff happened as far as the store is concerned, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is the part where I really have a hard time. Well, every part of the show I really have a hard time doing. So while you're still here, I joke. There's a reason to stick around. I'll tell you why. There's so many YouTube shows out there that deal with comic books, but this is the one that is like one. I can't think of like too many others. There's other ones that are stores and they talk about stuff that's coming out, but they don't usually have like a live show like this where I talk to my customers and people other than my customers, people that are friends. They're in the chat right now, but we'll talk to them in a moment. I mean, highlight them in a moment. This is a YouTube comic book show that deals with comic books and the industry from a store owner's point of view. I'm also a fan. I've been reading comic books for like a ton of years, like 10s, 20s, 30s. God, I guess at least 40 years, really. It was I could read pretty early because I wanted to read comic books. So that was the way it went. And, you know, there have been times when I've tried to like break into the industry. And there were other times when I just wanted to do like other things that were other than the industry. And now I own a comic book store. Woo! Look at me, old man owning a comic book store. And you got to listen to what I have to say because I don't know. Because that's the way it is. You're here. That's why you're stuck. You're stuck. Now you're enamored. The glamour has been cast upon the audience. And just in case, let me just, oh, geez, why did I not have it ready? Did I not have it ready? It was so good. I was using all these words and I was saying things that was about you all. And then I was going to do this.
So,
What's up?
so,
What's up?
so,
Hello.
what's up?
What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about New Comic Book Day. There is going to be one. That's tomorrow. We're going to have an unboxing at the 25-minute mark. I got it right up here. So we got a few minutes to go. We have cursing after 15 minutes. That's always a thing. We're going to talk right now about store life, things about the store, things, the customers of the comic book store in Berkeley, California. Oh, yeah, let me get that. Oh, we'll do that in a second. Berkeley, California are going to be interested in. Oh, man. That's where the best laid plans comes from. We're also going to talk about comic book drama. I was on Purchase Show on Friday. I actually closed the store to do a few things and go on it. And I did it from the store. And it was a pretty good show. And we talked about some stuff. And some of that I'm going to actually bring to this show. And some things I wanted to talk about anyway. And we're going to take a trip to Mother's Basement. And if we have time, we also have a mukbang. Wow, this is a jam-packed show. It's all me talking to you all. And you all talking to you all. And I can't wait to do it. First off, let's say hi to the people in the chat. Fantinium was here early. And Jilby Pill knows exactly when I'm coming on. Coffee Junkie's here. Coffee Junkie, do not leave because that 25-minute mark is about something you know about. Diablo Hashcraft all the way down to San Diego, right? Am I right? Let me see. I thought you were talking about Jeffrey. Yeah, I don't know if I actually explained it all last week, but I will this week. That's right. You are a customer. That's right. A reformed comic book owner, exactly. And Fizchozo. Hey, Fizchozo has a comic book, if I'm not mistaken, on one of the crowdfunding platforms. Fizchozo, you're welcome to put whatever you have to do to plug it in the chat. I can't make it a thing right now. You can always email me at whatever the contact is on the Fantastic Comics website or on the YouTube channel. And if you give me the link, I can always put it in the show also. But here it is. It's called Goofanoid on Indiegogo. I like Indiegogo personally a little bit more than Kickstarter. I have some Kickstarters that are out there, and I think it's mostly my being old and not being able to navigate it without like someone over my shoulder. But the backer kit thing and the way it's offered after the fact is a little I don't know. It's difficult. I'd rather like purchase everything up front and then not have to worry about it. Anyhow, yeah. So Goofanoid, maybe I'll check it out and we'll talk about it on the show. I feel bad doing that because, well, I wouldn't do a review. I don't really do real reviews here on the show. When I talk about reviews, it's more like me going over it. Sometimes it's more of a, like we did with the Iron Man, and then I made a video on that where we it was more of a retrospective. But as far as reviewing, I'm not gonna like, this is this and this is that. It's just more taste really when it comes to that for me personally. But as far as like the store and shilling and I don't know, I think I'm a good spokesperson for comic books when it comes to like, especially if I like it, if I can say like, oh my god, look at this art, and this is reminiscent of this person and this person, and I don't have to fake it. That's the important thing. It has to be real. Even and the funny thing is, I found that like so many artists, you might compare them to another person, but they might not have any concept of who that person is, because they're all deriving their sort, from the same source material, but it isn't the people within the industry. I can't. It's a. Yeah, I know it is. Yeah. It is not. It is not. No, you don't want to see the face today. Let me see. I don't even have the camera up. I'm not wearing clothing is the problem. Proper attire. Look, I got my hairy arms out and everything. Plus, I also don't really like having the full screen. So if the co-star guy comes on later, let's see. Do whatever you have to do to make rent. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I am going to be talking about as far as, we mean the business, the comic book business. So yeah, that's what's going on for tonight's show. Let me let everybody know that we have a physical store. This is the address. We are not open Tuesday. All right, you know what? Gosh darn it. Let me change this right now. All right. That looks pretty good. Wednesday. No, darn it. I can't even remember my own schedule. I don't need to do that. All right, here we go. That's it. Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. We were open for the first time ever on Sunday, this last Sunday, and it was a very fun day. A lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while were able to make it out, and it makes me feel very, very confident about changing from Tuesday open to close, from Sunday close to open. So Wednesday through Sunday are now our hours, but this is the problem. I have been changing over the accounts so that they would get sent over to my house. Unfortunately, some of the bigger companies like Penguin Random House don't do that, because it's they can only do it to a storefront. So that's a problem, but that's okay, because most of my orders I'm going to place so that they hopefully come out on a Thursday or a Friday when I'm in the store, or even a Saturday. The problem is receiving some other packages. So I might possibly have to be at the store on a Tuesday anyway. So I'm actually making more work for myself, which is a bummer. Also, the Marvel stuff, or the Diamond stuff that usually went to my brother's house. Okay, so this is the deal at the store. I am the only person working it because my brother has another job. He finally grew up, got out of the comic store, and in an effort to save it, he cut off his leg. Or something like that. We cut off him, and it's all me, so I'm doing everything, and he's making little videos to make sure I know how to do certain things that I haven't been doing, because I do all the ordering, but also when I say stuff like, we need to get tape, he's the one that gets the tape. And it's not really so much that I can't order tape from Amazon like anybody else, or go to the local hardware store that has it. It's just sometimes when it's like receipt tape, you have to know if it's the thermal paper that you need, or the size that you need, and stuff like that. And it's, again, not very difficult, but all that time I've been saying, hey, we need to order this. And there's a lot of things I say, hey, we need to order, and I don't even remember all those. So there's going to come a point in time where I'm going to be like, oh, damn, I'm out of this. And, you know, I have to get on the ball for doing that before we run out. Also, the world is changing right now. It's freaking crazy. All I'm seeing is shortages all the time. And this will lead into how I screwed up or how we're screwed up for tomorrow. But I'm seeing shortages. I went to the bank and I was depositing money and I was getting change for the day, for the week. And all I want is a roll, maybe 2 rolls of quarters. And Chase, this is the bank in downtown Berkeley where, you know, a mass amount of people are all the time, haven't got quarters for 5 weeks. And I'm like, what? And dude's all, yeah, 5 weeks. We haven't had them. It's been bad. And I'm like, all right, fine. Well, I'm going to suck it up. And, you know, if I have to make 50 cents in change, I'll do it with dimes, I'm thinking. So I'm like, all right, well, give me, you know, instead of $5 in dimes, which I didn't even want in the first place, I said, give me $10 in dimes. And dude says, uh-uh. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm trying to like squeeze this information out of him. Like, you know, I'm in a D&D game and I'm talking to a bartender or something. And he's like, yeah, Wells Fargo, which is across the street. Same situation. And I'm like, damn, this is pretty bad. I have a big jar full of coins here, but, you know, those were for my convention coins. And we'll be talking about a convention also in a few minutes. But that's not the only thing that's like people are short on. The paper, DC, and it might not be 100% true, but they're putting out a lot of comics. But some of the ones that are supposed to be coming out are going to be delayed and like held back for like a month or whatever. And they're talking about shortages. And that's the reason why there's not going to be some of the stuff that they've solicited. Now they have like a bunch of stuff that they've shoved out there, and hopefully this is just like, you know, them wiping egg out on their face to like slow it down a bit, but who knows? And then manga, and on Instagram, if you follow our Instagram account, you can, which is just Fantastic Comics. I'm going to share a screen so you can see it really quick. If you go to the Fantastic Comics Instagram, there we are. I post a thing about our new hours. You know, I always post usually a lot earlier in the day or even the day before when we're going to have a show. But this is one that I had recently, and it's all about how these are books that I ordered way back in April, and these are still have not been fulfilled. And these are like super popular books that everybody's asking for right now. And to not have Demon Slayer, to not have My Hero Academia, to not have the staple Naruto. For people that don't know, Sullivan's amazing. Full Metal Alchemist, Chainsaw Man. I've never had Chainsaw Man in its entirety, and it's only like a few volumes. But ever since the pandemic, I'm really thinking that like Barnes & Noble and Amazon's and that type of like, you know, big company which is able to like buy things were able to get manga when it was still available, and it needs to go back to print. And if any of what DC is saying is true about printing, then this is going to be an expensive ordeal also for manga that has, you know, 100, 200 pages in each volume. So that's like a thing. I also heard on NPR, they're talking about rental cars are not available. I had a customer come in and tell me that rental cars, they're talking about doing a convention, and they can't rent a truck. They can't rent a truck. And and because when the pandemic happened and nobody was traveling, these companies were like, well, let's sell our cars. And now, because of not being able to get cars and machine or parts that people need to make things, the PS5s aren't available. Chips for computers that I know nothing about aren't available. It's crazy times right now, and it affects the store. What else affects the store is when they don't switch over your address like you asked them to, and they sent it to the store on a Tuesday when you weren't open. So they'll be bringing it tomorrow. So unfortunately for those of you that are interested in Fantastic Comics and the whereabouts of things like Spider-Man, it is going to be probably on Thursday. Yule doing it alone as it comes in the store might be near impossible. If nobody shows up, it will be okay. But it's, it is a task. And to get it right for all the people that are regulars and pull customer type people, you usually don't want to be open during that time. Still, I will do my best. But there's also the likelihood that they might deliver it at 7 after we're closed. So it might be a long night tomorrow. So this might be an early night tonight. But that's comic book news at Fantastic Comics. Here, let me do this. That's a beer. Customer brought it by. I took it home. Let me share screen. There you go. That's right. The nails were a thing. It matches though. All right. I'm not going to drink on camera. It's bad. Bad form. No, like I've never done that before. All right. All right. That's what I need, Jill. Make sure to write down that I need Linda, a clip of Linda going, all right. Oh, I don't think I have enough time for comic book drama. Let me see here. Obviously no Mother's Day. Can I just shoot the shit for a few minutes? Yeah, I'm going to shoot the shit for a few minutes. Let me look at chat, see if anybody said anything. All right. So I tied it all together, though. I mean, usually I can't remember anything in the middle of a big old rant. So I think I did have notes, though, right here. Let me shake the paper there for you. Let me see whatever I have to do to make rent. Yeah, I remember Jeffrey's self-sacrifice will not be forgotten. That is the truth. 100% of, well, no, I should say like 70% of, we're losing half our staff, but we're gaining 100% in fun because I'm still there. Jeff isn't. And you all know I'm joking. Oh, see, there you go. Bank of America had sorry no quarters. Holy cow. Well, the thing is, and I heard a long ass report on why the toilet paper situation was the way it was. The same amount of toilet paper was made, but if you factor in the fact that people go and poop at their places of work, and you're at work a lot, that just that type of toilet, or just the toilet paper that is consumed for your daily life, has gone up drastically since you've been like working at home or not working at home and all that stuff. So, and they can't just like make a ton of toilet paper, even though it's easy to make and it's cheap. Well, it's not cheap. It's expensive to store because it takes up room, and things that cost more per pound is better than something that's light and cheap and takes up a lot of space. But even still, like the same amount of toilet paper was being made. It was just, restaurant toilet paper wasn't being used, and people didn't realize they could use that too, or purchase that. And I think like the toilet paper situation is a little bit better now. I don't think I've seen it really bad, but I don't live in hurricane weather or anything either. Let's see here. Yeah, they might be having to do that. It's true. Let me see. Yeah, shooting the shit is the best. But I only have 10 more seconds because you know what? Because of Coffee Junkie, we have an unboxing. Let me just get this banner up. I should do the... Man, I get anytime I do a Monty Python thing now, and I clip them short too. Like I try in 8 seconds. I know it's 1 second more than it's 100% safe, but like most of that Mr. Show stuff never gets me. And it's not like it's really important because, Fantastic Comics doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet, but it would be awesome if we did someday. But it's not something I'm really working on. I just like talking to everybody. It's like, the thing is that I haven't I have really good conversations with everybody that comes in the store about comic books. And I have a whole bunch of different type of conversations with all the people that come in and buy comic books at the store. And it's really enriching. And I feel like, this is something that is fun to do with other people and other people that, don't have a chance to like come in and hang out and stuff like that. Moby is one of my customers, and he's a super fun dude. And the thing is you don't get to be a customer in a store where he's in the store at the same time either, because number one, we're pretty small, and it's not just pretty small, we're really small. And we just want to make everything comfortable for everybody so that it's just not uncomfortable for anybody. Anyway, let's do this unboxing. Thank you, Coffee Junkie. Let us see. Oh wait, I did it right at the top and I just couldn't remember that. Jeez Louise. Here we go. What's wrong with me?
That's all right.
Hey Harold, how's it going, buddy? Oh yeah. Hey Gizmo, how's it going, buddy?
Hi.
Gizmo got a Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Yeah, like
Harold, stop.
Like the gremlin.
Harold, stop. Harold.
Don't worry about it. I don't have any problems with that.
Harold, stop.
We try and make Gizmo bark. So I got a package here for him, and I'm going to open it right now.
Oh, great. Okay.
It shouldn't cut towards me. Let's take a break. All right, we'll open. What? Farmer Jared's Normal Farm. Normal? What's normal mean? Bark. It says, howdy pups. Your CSA shipment, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you do not open this box unless everyone around you is cool. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
What is this, like? Oh my goodness. Oh, Bud Hounds. I've heard of this.
Oh.
Great. It's all pot related toys. There's a bong. And it has something inside. I wish I had candy for me. And then I could look at this, a spliff. Excellent. Some pumpkin and honey recipe. That's all the rage. CBD and dog treats. I'm like, wait, see, it's not CBD for me? It's CBD for my dog? Oh, this packaging's just great. Look at that. My buddy does packaging for weed stuff. We've got the hookup. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you to my cousin. Alright, so I stupidly already opened this one and the dogs liked it. Now I've got the beef recipe.
Harold, stop.
So let's try this. Harold's a big old barker. It's quite alright. I don't know, Harold. You keep that up. Oh, this is in a stick form. You're gonna love this. So I've been sharing the treat with Gizmo and Harold. There's Harold again. All right, Gizmo, do you want a treat? You want to try this? Who wants a treat? You do? All right, buddy. Wait, Harold. Hold on a second. All right, Harold. Oh, look, he's already licking his chops. He's ready for whatever's going to happen.
Can we get Deadpool black and white?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get I've already got it, but I want to get it.
Yeah, number 2's coming out soon.
Okay, good.
All right.
Awesome, stop.
Seems they like it. What is that, Gizmo? You got to make it bark. Squeak. You got to make it squeak. See, it's up here. It's here. Oh, really? Oh my God, he never plays this stuff. You want this spleef? You want this spleef? Huh? Come on. Look at this guy. It's crazy. He let it go, though. He usually doesn't play with toys, so this is pretty wild for me to see this. Yeah, he's never known about the squeaking stuff. Huh. Yeah, he's going for it. Oh, if he makes it squeak, it's all over. What is that, Gizmo? Do you like that? Oh, Kirsten, this was really awesome. Thank you very much, Kirsten. Really appreciated. He still hasn't made it squeak yet. He still is not really the biggest toy dog, but I can, yes, pass the Ducci on the left hand. I'm not going to, do not sing. I promise to, you know. Poor Harold. Harold's just a barker anyway, let me tell you. Yay. Exactly. Yay. So that's some of the stuff that happened in the store this week. One more time for customers of the store, we are going to have DC tomorrow. It's already out on the shelf. It's wonderful. But I will not have Marvel, Image, etc., etc. But it may come in tomorrow, and it was supposed to be delivered. The problem was it wasn't delivered to where it was supposed to go. And it's just because it didn't get changed over properly. And when it finally did, it was worthless. And it's probably going to be the next couple weeks where it's going to be delivered on a Tuesday. So I'm going to have to be there, even though I'm also open on Wednesday through Sunday. So let's say for anybody that's out there that wants to know, Tuesdays are going to be for a couple of weeks. Will be a what do we want to call it? Personal shopping day. All you have to do is make a call, schedule an appointment. I will probably be there, and there to receive your help you out. It'll be a nice, quiet, closed door kind of situation. Wear a mask. And that will, it's play it by ear. It doesn't necessarily, this is like a little secret. This will be a little secret time, a little secret stash, if you will, of comic book fun. And if you're like a back issue person and you don't really get a chance to like come in and do that, as long as I'm waiting for my order, I guess I'll be there. So, come on in. I'll probably be doing paperwork or something. All right. Yeah, come by for your Image on Saturday. We got to start playing. So also, if anybody is a Magic the Gathering fan, there is Magic the Gathering Arena, which is an online and, phone capability kind of game. It's not just separate, you can like link the two accounts. So, if you have a smartphone, if you ain't behind, I kind of want to. But it's nice to be able to play a cool game. And I have an account, and if you want to be my friend, let me know. I need to play some Magic against people. All right, so let's see. I wanted to talk about comic drama. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see if I can find that. Don't forget, we might also have mukbang if I have time. We're gonna do Mother's Basement, and it's gonna be 2 comic books probably. Also, I should talk about some comic books that are coming out tomorrow and the day after. Well, I didn't make one for this, so this is it. All right, excellent. So we're gonna talk about comic drama. And what we're going to talk about, so I was on Perch's show, Comics by Perch is a YouTube show. He also has it hooked up so that his interviews and Friday shows and retrospectives are on like whatever it's called, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff, wherever you get podcasts. And I was on the show, this is my 3rd time. It was awesome. I was on with Joe Corallo, the guy who does Beckstar. Come in and get it. I have all but the first issue, and it's a really good series also. And we'll have Joe on shortly, and not today, shortly, but soon. And we were talking about how this company called Action Lab, which has been around for a while, has got some bad press, and creators of Action Lab comics have talked about how little that they've been paid. And, you know, we were talking about how the guy didn't really see money until like the 4th miniseries or something like that. And it was like his own thing. And now that he wants to get it back, he has to like pay all this money in order to get these comics, and it's just like this crazy thing that has spiraled. And this guy's life's work basically for the last 5 years is unobtainable for him to be able to get back and be able to profit off of it in any way. And even if he does have the money to get that, then he also has to make his money off that. And let me tell you, it's, you know, and it's like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. And supposedly it got like lowered recently to how much they'd be willing to, like, you know, eat Diamond, that is. But it sounds like they'll do the individual issues. They'll eat that, but the guys will have to like purchase all the trades, and it's going to be like near 20,000 plus shipping. And that's a lot of money. And shipping's really expensive right now. Let me tell you, it's really expensive right now. And yeah, so, and then other people that work for Action Lab basically were doing the same thing. You can find out all about it if you're interested. The CBRs and the Bleeding Cools and all the alternate Bleeding Cool sites, and have like really talked about it. And, you know, there's a lot of YouTube channels that have talked about it. And, you know, I don't really need to get into the weeds, but what my big thing, you know, coming from this was that that's me screwing with the can. The big thing that I got out of it is like, man, when you are working for anybody that will put your stuff out, until this is how I feel personally, because I've seen it happen. I mean, I've been, like I said, a guy that wanted to break into comics. I was a guy that wanted to, like, you know, be literary. I wanted to, you know, do all sorts of stuff. And I knew people that wanted to do all sorts of stuff. I knew people that did things. But it's a tough life. You know, you gotta really hustle until you can make it. And very few people find success at the very beginning. And being used by people like, you know, these companies. So if you saw my Breaking Into Comic show, I was talking about Blue Comet Comics or Press. And Craig Storman was the owner and writer and sometimes artist of the comic books. And he lived in Manhattan Beach in his mom's and he wore a bandana and smoked really thin cigarette joints. You know, not spliffs, pinners. And, you know, he's just like this hippie dude. And he couldn't afford the page rates for artists back in the early 90s. And his gimmick is like, well, what he does is he puts a person. So there's this movie you should go out there and see someday. It's called Tapeheads. It's really awesome. And there's this scene where they're talking about how you work in advertising and how the first one of the things you do is for free.
I'm going to do something I don't normally do because I like you guys. You can do another one. And this time I'll give you 3 days to shoot on spec.
Spec, look.
Don't thank me. I know, I'm too nice.
That's right. And that's how these publishers are. They're like, don't thank me. I'm too nice. I mean, I'm going to do this as a favor for you. Perch just had a video today where he's like talking about how these editors try and make it feel like they are doing you such a favor by putting you on Spider-Man. Or if you weren't even in the running for a Spider-Man, maybe you're in the running for something like, you know, Children of the Atom or something like that, you know, a lower tier X-Men book. And you're like, oh my God. And they're going to be like, well, I'm going to you remember this. And what they're saying is, I'm going to take advantage of you, or I'm going to put you on my pet project so I look good, or I'm going to ream you for money when there's budget cut, and all this other stuff that might happen. And they're like, you know what? Just remember that. And then you're going to thank me for it. And that's kind of what working. I mean, comics, it's so low rent when it comes to like we look at the movies, we look at, and this is another part of the comic drama. We look at movies, we look at Shang-Chi, right? Which, by the way, did well. And there was somebody out on the internet talking smack about all the YouTube websites that talked about Shang-Chi being a bust before it even comes out. And a lot of these things are obviously written in such a way so that, obviously, just like any news site these days on the internet, you want to get a click. And then just like people that want to get clicks on their YouTube, there's someone on Twitter or Instagram that are slamming people and they want to get clicks. And it's just this really awesome the snake. No, it's a human centipede. It's inveighing is what I think the word was. And yeah, this is like some of the stuff that's going on. And so you see, like, these movies are actually, and that's the thing, Shang-Chi made a lot more money than you would have ever assumed it should make, because like there really is no, it's just like when Ant-Man made money. There's no business a movie like Ant-Man's making money, but the Disney Marvel machine is chugging along at such a speed that there's, they fall out of bed and they make, X amount of money. And it might be COVID times right now, but they're doing better than most. And, all signs point to Eternals is probably not going to suck as far as, money is concerned. So make sure you come in and get your Eternals trades. I do have that on sale right now. Assad Ribic Ribic is doing the art, and Kieran Gillen's the writer. And it's pretty cool, little atmospheric, introduce you to the characters. Meanwhile, the machine that rebirths them all the time is destroyed, and Eternals are being killed, and Thanos is involved. So how can you not want to read that? And like I said, Assad Ribic is doing the art. And it's amazing. So going back to comic drama, well, that's basically what I said on Purchase Show. I said, you work for spec, you maybe get a sniff of some profits in the second one, you get a page rate in the third one, and then you renegotiate for shitty royalties in the fourth one. And it's kind of like how you wake up in the industry. And I'm sure, like most of the industries, like, the thing is that comic creators are out there that make money. I'm sure Donny Cates is making probably the best money of any writer over at Marvel right now. But who's the second writer that's making equal amount? And is there a third? And on and on and on, same thing with art. And the thing is like so many artists come from other countries. We could pay them less. It goes a lot farther in some countries. And, well, that's an American artist that might be good that has to apply their trade in some other way. Maybe they're doing something like an Image comic book. Maybe they're doing an independent, like a Drawn and Quarterly book, but those aren't going to come out very often. So they have to have real jobs, like an actor. James Garner got discovered at the gas station when they used to pump people's gas all over the place. And, he was obviously an actor going out and trying and doing stuff like that. And he's talking about James Garner. But, these are like the things. These are like the legends of people being discovered as a waiter. Well, no, they were waiting while they were doing the other stuff too. They were just like a waiter and then became an actor. Although I guess that could happen. But yeah, very few comic people are going to make it big, and all the others that do make it big are probably going to be making it outside of comic books. My favorite illustrators came from outside of comic books. Neil Adams was a comic strip creator, and then he dabbled, I think, in comics, and then went over to advertisement, and then he brought that aesthetic back to comic books. Steranko is a well-known advertising kind of guy that came over and did comic books. Really revolutionized the art. One of my favorite artists, Michael Golden, who did Micronauts and a whole bunch of Marvel covers over the years, and other things. Nam. He often worked in advertising and came back to work in comics. Like, comics were the things that he loved, but you couldn't make a living really doing it. Not the living that he wanted to make, because someone out there is making the certain amount of money. But when you factor in the fact that these movies are making millions of dollars and these people are adapting stories that all they're basically doing is coming back and ruining them. I mean, oh my God, it was so emotional, that scene when, something happened with the Avengers and the snap, but did you know that the snap destroyed everything in the comic book and there was more things, whatever. And yeah. We're getting an advertisement or a guest appearance by fantasticcomics.com. This is our website where you can buy back issues. Look at that right off the top. There's a Secret Wars, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, Strange Tales. Oh. Near Mint Plus. That means we really think it's in very good condition, and it only costs $15. That's really good, because if it was slabbed and we're right about the grade, then that would probably be like 75 or a lot more. Transmetropolitan, that one's a good one. Warren Ellis, don't cancel him. Buy Transmetropolitan today, $50. That's a 9.2 or a 9 is what I think that it comes out to if you slabbed it. But you don't have to slab it, and then you can get it home and read it too. It's awesome. And that's a Helix comic book. And Helix was like one of those brands that, side brands that DC did. Nothing lasts anymore, but like there's none of the new side brands that are like a big whoop right now for DC. It's a shame. Oh, a lot of detective comics. That's from the Dane collection. Those Fantastic Fours are from my personal collection from back when I was a kid. The beautiful books, and John Byrne writing and drawing them, just really, really good. And if you don't want it shipped and you live in the area, you can come on in and buy it also. All right, that's enough talking about that. I'm talking about comic book drama. So basically, that's kind of like the thing about it. And I think like all art forms are that way. I wanted to break in as writing as a comic book writer. I wanted to break in, I wanted to be a hoity-toity writer. You gotta mingle, you gotta get it out there, you gotta write for free, you gotta draw for free. My buddy was an inker. You gotta ink for free. The problem is the minute you make money, it's really hard to go back and do it for free again. And that's when you really love it. You remember many people have made really shitty movies so that they could go and, like Steve Buscemi, right? He does all sorts of shitty movies so that he can go and do an arty film. This is in the 90s. But other people were like that too. And it's just, you got to pay the bills. We said it earlier in the show. Moby, I think, did. We got to pay the bills. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. And, unfortunately, when you're an artist, and on that Purge video, I said in comments, the starving artist is not a stereotype. It's not. I mean, think of Breakfast at Tiffany's. That dude was screwing old ladies so that he could be a writer. And Hemingway married rich multiple times so that he could live his life so that he could be a writer. He had one wife that was like, oh, just being married to him and him coming out with, like, I think it was Old Man at the Sea. That's like that's the entirety of our marriage. And to her, because of art is being important, I guess it really jazzed her. Even though I think it didn't end in the end, or it didn't work out in the end. Nothing really worked out in the end, I guess. Let's see here. Anything here? Anything? All right, you guys talking. Excellent, excellent. All right, let's talk about some new comic books that are going to be out tomorrow and the next day. Tomorrow we have Batman number 112. This is by James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez. Beautiful art by Jorge Jimenez. James Tynion is leaving, I think, by the end of Fear State, which is running through this and all the other Batman mags and side issues. So watch out, Fantinuum. And then the new writer is going to be Joshua Williamson. And we'll see one of his books that he's doing right now also. From Mad Cave, not just because of Joe Corallo's involvement with the show and shows I've been on, and his Beck star, but also because of Nottingham, which was about the sheriff in the Robin Hood stories, kind of being like the cop, kind of being actually the good guy of the story. And because of those books, I wanted to make sure I got Bountiful Garden in, and that'll be in on Wednesday, probably, maybe later on the day tomorrow. I don't know what it's all about, but you know what? Mad Cave has a really nice product that they're putting out there, just in actualization. And when you touch it, when you feel it, it's not some books are yucky. Sometimes when you hold a Marvel book, it feels like, when it's a very, very hot day and the sun's shining in your bathroom and you did the number 2 and you got the really bad toilet paper and your hands are sweaty. That's what a Marvel comic book feels like sometimes, minus the pooping. Speaking of Marvel, we got Conan number 25. Jim Zub is the guy who writes it. There's going to be a whole bunch of different covers. One of them is going to be on Momoko. I'm really looking forward to. And Conan's been really good, but I've kind of been holding off reading it just because it's a little bit more connected in story. And I didn't want to it's just one of those, I guess it's going to have to be my binge book. But I've really been enjoying Jim Zub when he does Conan. And he does fantasy stuff really, really good. Next up, we have Defenders number 2. It's a 5-issue miniseries written by Al Ewing with art by Javier Rodriguez, I think. Either way, it's really, really good, and it has a reminiscent style of Kirby Ditko, like Doctor Strange, and I recommend it. It was a good first issue, and I do have first issues, and when the second issue comes out, you can get both. Joshua Williamson, the soon-to-be new writer of Batman, is finishing up Infinite Frontier. It is described as a world multiverse type story miniseries that's going to lead to another miniseries, which is going to lead to another miniseries, which is going to lead to like a crisis event. And this is all the, not all. This is a bunch of superheroes from different worlds within the multiverse of DC. And they kind of get together and work with time anomalies or world anomalies, multiverse anomalies. And the multiverse anomaly that occurred was on President Superman, Earth 23's planet. There was a crash ship, and it had Batman, which is Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint. See, it's really confusing. And if you like that type of stuff, Infinite Frontier is ending, and I've got all the issues. It's pretty good, though. And the art's really nice also. Harmonico. It has some fill-in by some other people, but if you dig Paul Pelletier, whatever, it's pretty good. I always give Kazar a try. I guess he died in one of those Empire stories that Marvel did. Marvel is like, we got this really shitty miniseries, and we want to make sure we put it out. And it was like during the pandemic, like, oh well, comics are finally shipping, so we'll put the shit out anyway. Nobody wanted it, and Kazar died. Well, now Kazar's coming back to life in his 5-issue miniseries, and instead of just being like a Tarzan of the Savage Land, where dinosaurs roam, he's going to have powers too. If you can sense that I don't really have a lot of excitement for that, then you are, then you're getting it. Nonetheless, I do like Kazar, and Herman Garcia is on art, so I'm going to give it a try. Next up, we have May's book by Jeff Lemire, Hassenfeld Incorporated. He's going to be doing the art and writing the book all at the same time. Oh my gosh. And he's going to have another mini-series by Image called Primordial with Andrea Sorrentino. That's a dude, by the way. Wow. Anyway, I'm a really big Jeff Lemire fan, and this is a 3-issue miniseries by Dark Horse. You should come in and get it. Probably on Thursday. This is well, you can't see the words, but it's the Unteens, the Fabulous Unteens, which is part of the Black Hammer universe. This is a person that, this is a new character that was introduced to us. And it's like she's writing the books about these Unteens. But what we're finding out is she's really just writing about the adventures that really happened. And her teammates are trying to snap her back into real reality. First issue was good. I remembered it. That's the important part. The Nice House on the Lake by James Tynion. Everybody loves James Tynion. Go join his Substack so he never has to write comics for DC again. Wah, wah. They're also going to be taking a hiatus on the 6th issue. Don't blame me. I can't help it. Don't go get his Substack then. He doesn't deserve it. Not All Robots by Mark Russell and Mike Diodato Jr. is all about AI robots that serve us, taking us over. Weren't they already if they were serving us all the time? But one's come home from work and they're like, these humans don't even really respect me. They just want me, I just work for them all day. And, a lot like a wife or, it's a shame. We should treat our others better, and including robots. Spidey 73. This is one more issue, and Nick Spencer is Gonski. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way to Substack, Nick. That's what Marvel said. And then everybody joined him. And now who do we got in comics? Jesus Christ, we don't even have Teenie Howard. She's going over with, oh my God, Hickman over to Substack. The only thing I can guarantee is that Hickman won't get anything done that he's supposed to be doing over there. That's a guarantee. The Me You Love in the Dark by Scotty Young. Oh my God, his last thing he's doing for Image before he does it for Substack, and then it goes and gets printed by Image. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the first issue was pretty good, and I heard the second issue really furthers the plot. Jorge Corona is an excellent illustrator, and they've worked on Middle West together. And that's the comics of the day, or for the week, something like that. If you are enjoying this, please think about giving us a thumbs up. Afterwards, maybe leave a comment in the chat or in the comments down below. I hear that helps let people know about the show. I don't really care that much, though. I just care about you. But if you listen to this afterwards and there's anything that jars you, let me know. I'm interested because, I don't know how I've gotten to an hour so far, but this isn't easy. All right, let's see. Let me look at this stuff right here. Oh man, what cover was it? It's probably the let me guess. Were you talking about this one? Well, she's like a successful comic book creator, and she doesn't know that she's really a superhero from the past. She's just writing about a superhero that she used to be from the past and all her adventures. And there was one that happened that probably knocked her for a loop so much. And now here she is. It's like, oh, I'm a young, perky person writing these. I'm awesome. I write comic books, but that's just my guess. Oh, the last one. Oh, wait. Hey, you guys, stop that. Stop that with that. I don't like that. All right, very good. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are Fantastic Comics. We are a comic book store in Berkeley, California, and I am Yule. And why aren't you scrolling on something other than Secret Wars? That already sold anyway, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't have that, so we should change that if it's not. It should say sold. Yeah, it should say sold. Good going. Yeah, so don't highlight that anymore. We're going to have to go in and figure that out. Oh, God, another thing I have to figure out. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. I was going to share something with you guys, but I think I lost it, and it's probably for the better. We'll do that again some other time since we have this guy next to us. I want to... I guess it's time. What do you think? I guess it's time. Let me see if I can get this going. Here we go.
Here! I'm down here! Down here!
Mr. Sheldon?
That's right, everybody. Let's take a trip to Mother's basement where we don't have just one. We got two comic books to talk about. I hope I didn't already talk about Hulk before. I don't think I did. I was going to last week. Oh, let me take this down. Oh, cancel. All right, let me take that down. It's too big. Share screen. All right, here we go. Sorry. Boom. Hulk number 282. And if you're at all interested, you can, in Hulk, you can go over to Thinking Critical, where Wes and Joe Corallo and Eric Breen, who's been on, both have been on my show, talk about issues 297, 298 to 300. And obviously the numbers are a little bit earlier than that, but those were issues where the Hulk was a savage. In these issues, we find out from the very beginning that the leader here, who's composing, I guess, a song. Anyway, we find out in all these words here in these boxes that that the leader has just recently fought the Hulk. He almost bested him entirely, and the reason for that was that Bruce Banner's brain is now in control of the Hulk, and Hulk isn't able to rage out in quite the way that he needs to do in order to, the Hulk. The stronger I am, the madder I get, the stronger I get. Hulk is the strongest one there is. Puny humans, all that other stuff. Banner was irradiated he got gamma radiation, and it made him big and strong, but the leader got a big old forehead, and I guess he's smart. And I don't think he was really composing well, maybe he was. It's just silly. Ridiculous. Anyway, we are going to switch scenes, and then we can see the beginning. This is Tony Stark and Jarvis and Bruce in his underwear and Rick Jones, who's his sidekick. Rick Jones, incidentally, is the sidekick of many, many superheroes in the Marvel Universe. And then some alien things up here in the upper left-hand corner. And, oh, no, that isn't Jarvis. That dude's the hotel manager. And even though Tony's, paying for it, he's part owner of it. Dude's like, your buddy can't stay here. So Tony recommends that they go to Avengers Mansion, Rick. And Rick's like, you know what? You're such a dick. This is your fault, blah, blah, blah. If you didn't want this, you just want to take him over there so you can keep tabs on him, et cetera, et cetera. And Rick storms off. So they go to Avengers Mansion. And here's Jarvis down here, Butler Jarvis. And, there's this great technology scene where they're looking for the leader. They're using computers and they're using words, don't really mean anything. Also, Iron Man makes sure to let Bruce Banner, he's got to lay low, especially with this, alien lady here, because Henry Gyrich is like down the Avengers' throats all the time, making sure that they don't have any impropriety or else they'll be shut down. The alien lady is not happy. Everybody shuts her down when she wants to do something. So she just takes off and they let her. So that was a little interesting. She also goes by the She-Hulk, and She-Hulk's big in this issue. She tries to be nice, but she gets the cold shoulder, and then she sees Bruce, and they're going to have a big old conversation. I like this scene change where we have Betty, not married to Bruce yet, but Betty Ross, and Sergeant, or her father. Her father comes and is like, "You got to stop thinking about, Bruce." And she's like, "It's really hard to, and I'm trying to get away." And then he brings her this paper that shows that Bruce is still the Hulk, and it's like she's trying to like get rid of, get over him, and then here he is bringing this stuff. So it's pretty funny. Thunderbolt Ross, I can do it. Here's Bruce. He's just so sad and mopey, and he's upset that he made Jen the She-Hulk. And they go over both of their histories, and she lets him know that she enjoys being the She-Hulk, that she used to be a victim, because if you remember in Savage She-Hulk #1, she was shot by like some mafia people, and then the transfusion that saved her life was from Bruce Banner, and it turned her into She-Hulk. And she's really very into being She-Hulk, and she lets him know that it's not that big a deal. This whole issue is him trying to like atone for making her this way, but the deal is that he's that way. And Jarvis is captured by this guy named Arsenal, and Arsenal is just this machine programmed, and he's like really obsessed with the Mistress, and I forget, but I think the Mistress is like some like computer program, and we see like flashbacks here. And this is all a part of like Avengers Annual #9, which was definitely a favorite annual of mine growing up. I used to read that one all the time. I really dig Jen's outfit, this kind of romper outfit, right? Is that what it's called? I'm digging it. She's got the lead. She goes to go fight Arsenal. This is pretty some funky stuff here, because she takes some shots. The Arsenal puts her down. Hulk calls her Jen, or Bruce calls her Jen. Like, he's like really super worried, and she's like, "Don't call me Jen. She'd be dead right now. I'm the She-Hulk, and I'm the only one that has a chance of taking down Arsenal." Arsenal punches Bruce down. There's She-Hulk fighting. Finally, Arsenal shoots her, and she goes limp. And Bruce is like, this is not right. And he goes, and there's like this arsenic or whatever, and it could have killed Jen, and if he hadn't been there to blow it away. And he just starts pounding on this guy and getting madder and angrier. And just like I said, he's either talking or thinking. He's talking, and then as he's punching this dude out, he stops talking, and he goes mad. He goes, kind of Hulk. And then as he does, everybody's like, "Oh, very good. The Avengers finally came, and I wasn't really, even all that messed up." And they kind of just, they just got all up, got him all angry, like to prove a point that like you can lose control, you can still be Bruce, but at a certain time, you can let go, and then you'll be like super ready to go fight the leader. And they found out that the leader has been found, and they're going to go see what they can do, and that's the next issue. The thing that gets me is that in issue 298 to 300, it's the Savage Hulk again, and I think he's probably been Savage for a few issues before that. And I mean, we're talking mind-numbingly dumb and dangerous and destroying cities and all sorts of stuff. Not even being misunderstood like the Hulk usually is. To the point where they like, Doctor Strange transports him to like, another dimension basically. And Hulk kind of like floats in like different worlds and stuff like that. And like that was like the whole like quarter part of the year, for that character during that time. And well, probably longer than that because it was monthly issues. Anyhow, I don't know what actually happens in the meantime to make him so, raging mad, but I'm interested. We'll get to that someday. Excellent. All right. And then I promised one more. So, oh my God, we got to do another comic book. Let me just do this. We're going to do detective. Oh, and this is a big one. This is a good detective for those of you that haven't looked it up already. All right, let's share the screen. Share the screen. Boom. All right. This is Detective Comics presenting the Batman number 567, and it is written by legendary writer Harlan Ellison, the greatest Star Trek writer of all time. Just ask him. Well, I mean, we'll have we'll do a show where we do like Ouija board stuff, and we'll ask Harlan Ellison who he thinks the best Star Trek writer is. Nice cover. I'm gonna let you know right now this is a standalone story. Harlan Ellison does not write a year's worth of books for Batman, but you get what you can get. Oh yeah, and they say it's an offbeat tale. Yeah, it's offbeat, all right. Beautiful artwork. Can anybody tell me right now who's doing this art? Right down on the bottom it says, "With love after 15 years for Julie Schwartz." And here we go. We're counting down the minutes of the evening. Every time Batman sees a crime. Well, maybe that's spoiling it. I think you'd get it eventually. But this convenience store is getting robbed. He gets down there and he realizes that the person that's being robbed has a gun and is taking care of matters for themselves. So Batman calls for the cops. Batman sees a mugging going on. He's like, oh no, I got to get over there. He even says, damn it. But he sees that the mugger is being taken care of by the lady. And she's all, why don't you go call a cop and make yourself useful? Batman, Rassel, Frass, and Beck, Lomer, Saga, whatever. 12:50 a.m. 121, there's going to be a jumper, and Batman uses his grappling hook or whatever to swing and go save him. But a cop busts through, breaks the window, catches the guy, and lets Batman know, we got him. Everything's cool. On each beginning page, there's some sort of phrase, parable maybe. The tea ladle which passes through, or I should say saying maybe, something you get in a fortune cookie maybe. The tea ladle which passes through the heat and cold of hell has no mind and therefore suffers not. And again, oh, this is a good one. Batman busts up a drug bust, but of course he screwed everything up. And this is something that they've been working 10 years on. And he's getting reamed by the cop. He's like, don't worry about it, Bats. So what if his connection gets away and his connection's connection gets away? And the cutter and the mules and the supplier and the big guy downtown gets away. It'll only take me another 10 years to get it up again. What's he talking about? Batman's worried about loitering. And then he sees some lady being chased down by 3 hoodlums. But they're there to actually protect her. Batman has nothing to do. Everything he tries. This mugger. This is the worst though, right here. This is a Porsche. I don't think so. I don't know what that'd be. I'm not a big car dude, but that's too boxy to be a Porsche, I think. It looks like it has like windshield wipers in the back. It looks like, I don't know. He's not breaking in. And his wife found the keys on the other side of the car. Batman's like giving up. He runs by a jewelry store. There's someone breaking in. No, it's someone using the fuse box or fixing the fuse box. She's all, hey, can you make yourself useful and hold this light for me? She's like, hold it steady. Poor Batman. He's just pathetic. He even sees this big ass dude and he's like, all right, finally. This guy's up to no good. Dude throws a piece of paper from his candy bar. And Batman's trying to be all witty and says there's an ordinance against littering. Call him Tiny. This guy is a monster. And dude's like, oh, no, the rapper, you're right. And he's like very conciliatory about it. And he like apologizes. He's all, thanks, Batman, for you doing good. You know? And that's like 3:56 in the morning. So finally Batman comes home and Alfred is surprised that he's not out still doing stuff. And he's all, that must have been a pretty crazy night. And he's all, this is the worst night of my life, Alfred. Absolutely the worst. This is a fun little story. Nothing I think you need to write home about. Gene Colan, artist. Gene Colan was often the artist for Detective or Batman back in those days. Love his art now. Loved his art, but it felt like, it was one of those guys that was going to be around forever. And Batman was, a lot of times it was written like this. There wasn't anything with like super crazy stakes. Unfortunately, comics, have to always like up the stakes now. And it's like, it's the it's the Fear State storyline, and it's going to be followed by the Infinite Fear State storyline. Or, if I don't have anything, Miles Morales is going to have a Clone Wars story because, Spider-Man stories are Clone Wars stories, and all Spider-Mans have Clone Wars stories. And, just stuff like that. And sometimes it feels like, we should take the step back. And usually where we get stories like this or where you get, your anthologies. The guy in the unboxing video was talking about Deadpool black and red and white, or black, white, and red, or blood. And there's Superman red and blue, and there's Batman black and white. And, there's other ones that they've done. Carnage had a series like that. And what it really is an anthology with a gimmick. But there's other things like that. There's Sensational Wonder Woman and, just other things. That's what Marvel Tales or Team Up used to be really good for. And the other thing that a comic book was really good for, especially DC Comics, was they would have backup stories. They would also often have letters pages. And this backup story was Green Arrow. And, rather than Green Arrow trying to have his own book, being in the back of a Batman story and being able to focus on some other characters. It's not just Green Arrow in this story. It's whoever the villain is, whoever the side character is. And you get caught up with the story immediately, and you know exactly why this guy hates him in 4 panels. But well, maybe 2 more. But in a 5 or 6 page story, you get a lot of story. And then Black Canary shows up. This is right before I think Legends, or right after Legends. So the Justice League International hasn't occurred yet. And she's going to be a big deal in that for like the first 10 or so issues. And yeah, this is it's cool little backup story. And like I said, you usually, let's be real. There's a lot of Green Arrow fans out there, but they aren't as numerous as there are Superman fans and Batman fans. And it's a lot easier to have, highlight these characters. Firestorm, which I loved, he was in the back of Flash. It forced me to read Flash comics. I love Flash comics. Green Lantern had Green Arrow in it. And, you know, Green Arrow is kind of cool when he was with Green Lantern, more than he is with him, you know, alone, or maybe it's the other way around for some people. But, you know, if you're going to, it's better than like flooding the market with so many titles. And the problem is like, if you're going to have so many Batman titles, you really need to cut it with, you know, some other things. And they do that with the Batman. We saw the James Tynion Batman has a backup story with Ghostmaker, but Ghostmaker is so heavily tied in with Batman that it just feels like another Batman. Whereas this is at least Green Arrow. I mean, he is a down-to-earth, you know, costume fighter. You know, he's not like a super powered guy or anything like that. So he's like sort of Batman, but he's not. You know, he's in a totally different city. You know, and I think that's really. Also, I wish they would bring back the letters page, but that's an old man's grave there. All right, look at us. 121, and I have a lot of comments. Let's see if I can find any of them. Julia Schwartz, it was the editor of DC back in the day, and this I think was a favor that Harlan Ellison was supposed to have done 15 years prior. So that story was 15 years in the making. Could you imagine like how many covers would have come out today, you know, if they put that out today? Yeah, exactly. Gene Colan. He's a wonderful artist. And I just, oh man, it's a shame because, you know, you look at those old timers and you kind of think they're going to be around forever. And obviously they aren't. And in comics these days with, you know, younger people coming in and people finding it so hard to make a living, we're seeing our veterans not stick around. Our veterans are used to a certain amount of money and they're not getting paid that. So they only come back for like a once in a while thing. But it's a shame. But you know, you phase out, you age out. Not everybody can like be. Well, anyway, nonetheless, going back and reading those old Batmans, the detectives that Gene Colan did. Wow, he was such a really good artist. I wish the stories were somewhere in between the, you know, the standalone aspect stories and the Tom King of today. You know, they were good in superhero stuff, but I don't know. It was a strange time. Doug Munch is a pretty good writer, but I like him more on Moon Knight. Anyway, that's the end of that. Let me do. Oh, come on. Oh, no, it's right here. That's right. It's almost the end of the show. I want to thank our patrons. You can be a patron of the show. All you have to do is click the link in the description down below. You can give as low as $1. I don't care. We had recently been doing weekly, hey, this is coming out in comics, but I've been a little lax on them the last few weeks. And I've also been thinking about maybe doing a little bit more thought type stuff, but we'll do that soon. We are going to have a mukbang right now. I had it right here. My mukbang's better than your mukbang. We have a mukbang. We also have a special guest on this mukbang. If they don't say who they are, and I don't in the video, maybe you can try and figure out who it is in chat. Here, I put it up at the top. You can move these around now, but I'm not used to doing it. So here we go. Yeah, it's cool. Hey everybody, this is Yule over at Fantastic Comics, and we have a mukbang that we can't read. So we have a customer here, Fantinuum, and we thought maybe he could tell us what.
Oh, might as well. It's Korean, I think, or Japanese. I don't know. It's some sort of Asian language. I don't know. It's just something Asian on it.
Do you know what it says?
No, this is a mystery.
We all speak the same.
I have no idea. Do you know what this is supposed to be? Do you know what that is?
Looks like something constipated.
What?
That's what they look like. They come out like pebbles.
Wow. Are you like a rabbit? Are you a rabbit?
I have a whole chart at home.
All right, so
all right, this is what this is.
Let's see if I can actually open this. I did the first part.
Oh,
okay.
I knew that was happening.
You knew it, huh? I need to. I'm like, I got MS. Go ahead and
pour one out. There you go. All right. Oh, I got two. All right.
Yeah.
You do it at the same time?
Yeah, sure. Here, I guess I should get a second one.
Oh, these are. Okay.
You want to just pop them both in at the same time?
I will.
All right. So
Hold
we
on.
got.
These are kind of squishy.
Not only are they're kind of wrinkly too.
You know, this is how you check for testicular cancer. You gotta roll it between your fingers.
This is wow. Okay, very good.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready? To just teabag it or just
let's
take
just
it?
go.
All right, I'm gonna bite down. I like it a lot.
It's mellow.
Yeah.
Definitely purple tasting.
Yeah. The
skin's a little weird.
Imitation grape. That's what she said.
Okay. I never knew that. Yeah, it's all right.
I like it. Yeah.
He likes it. I'm all right.
I mean, I have to like it, right? It's Asian.
I guess you have to.
That's good.
Oh man. No.
Oh, the camera guy's gonna try it. Yeah. Oh, he's not gonna try it.
All right. There you go, everyone. Thank you for joining us this week. It was a fun show. I don't know if we're going to do next week. It all depends, but stay tuned. I'm going to leave with a video of a video short or what do I want to say? It was a video that came out in the 80s that was really, I don't think it was as popular as I want it to be. But this is from that video, and once again, I want to thank Coffee Junkie. And so, if we get shut down for this one, at least it was at the end of the show. See you next week, guys.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish food complexions, and just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona kept trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn, party split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made the famous Sunset City.